Hi, folks. Welcome back to Gem Jammer. Quick note that my very dear friend Anna has volunteered to participate on and off a bit on the show, playing Lachlan. Say hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Oh, for God's sake.
This is the start of a pattern, and it will not stop anytime soon.
We're gonna see how confusing it gets having an Annie and an Anna around. I've got very high hopes.
I mean, Annie and I have been friends for nearly a year now. We do all right.
I feel like we can tell each other apart most of the time.
Yeah, our voices are very slightly different. Very slightly.
Just a
Yeah,
skosh.
I don't. Yeah.
Just a smidge.
All right,
But
very
yes.
cool. Last time you landed in Lotto. You did some social recon. You did some recon. And anything else you guys want to specifically remind me of what you did? I've got a pretty good memory of plus Annie's notes, but I know Alexi wanted to find some drugs.
Oh yeah,
Right, we did end on Alexi
drugs.
needing to find drugs for her new dads.
Yes. And you are all you're all currently in the Amphisbena, the tavern.
Where Arturos is ruining the economy.
Some of us talked to a bunch of fucking sailors and got some hot goss. Some of us talked to a priestess.
And one of us is off doing quartermaster shit and getting supplies.
Yeah, one of you has a job.
One of us has a job.
So Lachlan's doing his job back on the ship.
And we're probably having some kind of brunch, regardless of the hour.
That does tend to be our MO.
Yeah, brunch
Yeah.
is the best meal of the day, so there's a reason for this.
I do recall that you guys did order food.
Oh no, that's right. We did order food items and wine bowls, I think.
Yeah, you got wine, you got fish stew, and you got some bread and some baklava.
Spectacular. Juliana's still quietly fuming about the vote on Goss dubs.
Yes, good. So yeah, what are you guys up to next?
Okay, all right. So I guess we have to go out into the woods,
Yay!
into the woods, and then out of the woods at some point again.
So, it does sound like the woods, if I recall, are maybe filled with monsters.
Yeah. Alexi, by the way, you mentioned that Alviva was sort of was it sketching a quick mental map of the island as you were coming in, or sketching a physical map?
I sketched a mental map, especially, that's one of my abilities as a ranger, so I think that I have a high level of confidence in my mental map making.
I like the idea that we're sitting down talking about this, and that somehow there are paper placemats that she's just drawing on the back of this map with crayons,
Or in the sand or something, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no paper on this island, but you now have a handout in your journal for the map that you have drawn. If you want to sketch a physical map, I can then show it to the rest of the players.
Oh man, you're saying I should MS Paint this shit through
No,
everyone
I'm
else.
saying that you can say Alviva sketches a physical map, and then I can show that the map that you now have to everyone else.
You can add flavor text.
I thought it was this is what's in Alexi's, or this is what's in Alviva's brain. See how good Alexi can do.
Yeah,
Converting
Alviva
this to
can
something
mentally
anyone
sketch a
else.
map, but can Alviva draw a map?
Wait, so if you're drawing it on sand, that it is actually a literal mud map.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
you
I like
did
drawing on
once start
placemats.
carving a map into a table, I believe, in Bobby Carta.
That's the kind
did.
of thing adventurers get treasure clues from, maps carved into tavern tables.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that is a good point. That's probably my first inclination, is to carve it with a knife.
Okay, is Alviva doing that?
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that when Alviva pulls out a knife to try and carve up this nice dining
Someone
table,
stops her.
someone stops her.
If
What are you
people
doing
in the
tonight?
party
What's the
don't
night
stop
plan?
you, the guy that runs the place will stop you.
Alviva, tell me about your knife plan that you have right now.
This is the map knife plan.
No.
I want to show you
no.
where the rivers are.
Alviva, and she hastily just opens any page in her journal that is blank, pulls out a pen, shoves it at her.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will sketch out my memory of like, okay, so from the air, it looked like this. We've got a kind of big river system going in 3 different places. We've got a mountain range through the kind of center of the island. We're in a cove by a kind of jutty out bit in the south side. It looks like things get more forested around the mountain.
There's our 3 rivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in here.
What?
Rio Rios is at least 3 rivers.
That is true. Did you forget which direction north was for a second there, Alviva?
No.
Because on this compass here, I see there is something scribbled out at the top of this compass rose, and then N is scribbled in after.
Listen, there's so many directions to remember.
That was, believe it or not, that was one of the default compass roses in Wonderdraft. I looked at it and I went, that's the one.
That's so good.
Yep, that's an Alviva map.
Listen, we never called it north and south. We called it towards the town, towards the ocean, towards the mountains, towards that nasty pit. You know?
So, did the sun rise in the mountains and set in the nasty pit?
Yeah. See? You know, we're from the same place.
Right.
The romantic vibe of watching the sunset into the nasty pit. Incomparable.
That's just the ocean.
Yeah, the nasty pit.
Okay, so we've got a shit ton of ground to cover then. This is gonna be like a couple of days here then, probably.
Can I estimate how many days it'll be with a survival check?
Yeah, roll survival check.
I'm just really excited to get to roll a lot of survival checks in this adventure. That's a 25, baby.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. You're estimating that the island is about maybe 100 miles across, and you know that in about a day of traveling, you can cover roughly 20 to 30 miles, depending on like how fast you want to go per day.
Okay. So
and that's with the understanding that you have to sleep for at least 8 hours a night.
Yes. And then Aviva doing mental math of like add in people wearing heavy armor, add in probably bickering.
Oh, that's our situationally competent perfect himbo.
I'm going to say 4 or 5 days being realistic about it, especially as we're heading up into the mountains. But could probably manage it in 4 if we're, disciplined. Haha.
I cannot think of a single time in our lives where we've been disciplined.
Okay,
I've been disciplined. Oh, I've
Not like
been
that, Audie.
disciplined.
Oh.
Okay, so if I'm recalling correctly, when our characters went over to the temple, did she tell us that like the well thing was like at the mouth of the rivers? I don't remember.
She said that there was it was in the mountains.
In the mountains. Okay. Okay. Well, all right. If we're looking for some kind of well, I would say maybe we should pick one of the rivers and follow it up into the mountains and see where that gets us.
Yeah, I also want to see when we get out of town if I can pick up a trail, because it sounds like there's been a pretty consistent, people going to this place. They should leave, a trail behind, especially that doesn't sound like they're especially capable in terms of hiding their tracks.
I mean, it sounded like from what you were saying, some of those cultists were from like beyond Carta, and I don't think city folk are going to be really good at hiding their tracks in, a forest.
No.
I mean, I guess I don't know that they were from Senegora specifically, but I can make some educated guesses.
There's probably litter and things,
Yeah, they don't adhere to taking only pictures and leaving only footprints.
No, city people usually do not.
They go glamping. Not that we would know anything about glamping.
We'll see. I think the only it depends on if it rains and stuff a lot here, how much tracks get wiped away. But especially once we get into the areas that are more covered by trees and things like that, then that's even, longer. It's going to leave a track. So
Okay.
I feel pretty good about it. We can see.
Yeah, no, I am sure you are going to be able to pick this up. You've got this.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think once we finish eating, we should probably head back to the ship, stock up on some supplies, tell the captain what's up, and I don't know, head out ASAP.
Yeah, sooner the
When
better.
can you still? I forget. Can you still do the tiny hut cozy house?
Oh, yes, I can do that, yes.
Okay, good. Then
Leonard's
that should-
Leonard's cozy house.
Oh, we literally do glamp.
That one is not
Yeah,
an especially fancy thing, so I can do that myself without having to be in a different form.
All right, perfect. Then that should cover us for shelter and make it a lot easier at night if this is an Isle of Monsters. That should be
Yes,
cool.
it sounds like an Isle of Monsters. In terms of supplies, we should bring some food, but this looks like the kind of place I'll be able to forage quite nicely.
Okay, good. We should be able to supplement easily then. Okay, so we're looking at another, it's gonna be, over a week.
It's gonna be so good.
I'm gonna really miss our shitty little bunks by the time this is over.
It's been so long since I licked a tree.
Oh, hi.
I'm so excited.
Have you tried asking Belly?
Oh my god, that was almost a
Gross.
spit take, thank you.
Gross.
Yeah, in our last episode, Alviva likely licked a tree, but that was in who knows
That
where
was
in
a
the
special
timeline.
party.
Yeah, a special party.
That's a special future party for later problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there any other, reconnaissance that y'all want to do in town before we get this shit sorted?
Artie just yells into the square. Are the monsters hot?
That is a good question. I would like to know that one.
Are you asking the patronage in general?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone just kind of turns to look at you.
Are the monsters hot?
Well, a couple of them breathe fire, shouts one guy.
Okay, now that's useful. Could you tell me
Okay,
more
are the
about
monsters
the monsters?
sexy?
No!
Okay, there you go. Thank you!
That's very up to interpretation.
Oh, I mean, obviously, but I'm saying just by general humanoid standards, and I think that at least gives us a base to start from. Probably just going to eat us, but not the sexy kind.
Never the sexy kind.
I know, buddy.
Okay, but so, some of them breathe fire, any other down low on, what these monsters do? We talking beasts?
Yeah, I guess we do need to know what kind of things we might be fighting as opposed to whether or not we can flirt with them. We have good
I wasn't
priorities.
going to say anything. So are you just shouting general questions into the crowd, or is there someone in particular you want to go look for information about this?
I mean, we
Someone
could
y-
ask the guy that owns the place.
Well, and whoever yelled that some of them breathe fire, it's like, you know something.
Tell us your name.
Your name now, please?
Yeah, this is a rather large, bulky minotaur, bit of a belly, sort of a younger guy. He's got a blacksmith's apron on. He says, "My name's Demetrios."
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you, Demetrios. Artie, can I just ask my questions first?
Artie is
A blacksmith.
he's just there suddenly leaning on the table, kind of lounging with his abs flexed.
Alviva's gonna try and get in front, sit on the table awkwardly to block the view and put up her hands, and it's just could you please, I know He's distracting. Can you
Pay
not look
no
at the
attention
fish?
to the sexy
Just-
fish behind the curtain.
You can look at the sexy fish in a minute, and I'm all for it. But first, could you please tell me more about the monsters?
Demetrios looks very confused for a second, and he's like, well, the really big scary one I heard about is one that has like a bunch of different animal heads and can fly and breathe fire.
Oh, great.
Oh, the motherfuckers. Is there a stat to roll to in character know what that is?
Yes, roll either nature or arcana.
I will do a nature. That is a 21.
Sounds like a fucking chimera, dude.
Sure it fucking does. I fucking hate it. No, it'll be interesting. I mostly hate them as a DM because they're complicated. So you can have fun, Kit.
Yeah. Just take a moment to reflect on how badly I've shot myself in the foot with this island premise.
Mm-hmm. Which, like, so remind me, it flies. We got one head that shoots fire. Does the goat
It
head
flies,
do anything?
it's got a head that shoots fire, it's got horns that it can headbutt you with, it's got
Yeah.
lion teeth and claws that it can fuck you up with. It's a
Does it
bad
also
time.
have a poison tail?
It does not
Does it
have a
got
poison, tail.
Okay.
Yeah, is there anything out here that can poison us?
Is there anything venomous?
That would be good to know for me.
Are you also coming over to Demetrios' table? Are you shouting this from another table?
I think she's shouting this over to Alviva's table. I assume these tables are probably, like, fairly close together if this
It's
dude
not a
yelled
terrifically
back.
big place, and it's also open
Yeah.
air, so...
Yeah. Hey, Alviva, is there anything that can poison us?
Yeah, any poison? Is poison a concern, Demetrios?
I heard about one kind of flying lizard creature with a stinger on its tail.
Ooh, manticore.
Can I roll another knowledge nature?
Yes.
That's a 12. Oh, that's not as good.
So you seem to recall that there is a kind of lower form of dragon that has
I got a
poisonous
nat
stinger
20.
on its tail. Jill, that's a fucking wyvern. That's a wyvern he's
Oh,
describing.
I'll go Monster Hunter. We got Raytheon. What
Oh,
else?
hell. Wyverns. Okay. Anything else that pops out at you?
Does everything fly? Are they all flying?
Not all of them, but some of them fly.
What other ones are there?
Anything else you can think of that would eat
Yeah.
like really squishy people like us?
I mean, a lot of them would just, most of them, I would say, would eat really, really squishy people.
I mean, obviously, but like in a who's who.
I heard a lot of stories about there being a dragon turtle somewhere out there in the water.
Sounds cool.
Jill thinks for a second, then just sort of squinches up her face, just presses her fingers against your temple. Okay. Let's just get this one out of the way. Hey, any giant spiders that you know about?
I mean, there are some really big ones, but like, what do you mean by giant?
Horse-sized or larger?
No,
Dog-sized?
no.
How big?
Biggest one I ever saw was he holds up one hand.
Ugh. Okay, thank you.
It eats birds.
Great. I hate it. I hate it so much.
And then Demetrios turns to you, Alviva, and says, "To answer your question, I like there's a bunch that fly. I heard about the one with the different animal heads and stuff. I heard one that's like a deer with antlers. And then there's like people keep saying that there are some winged horses on the island. I'm not sure I believe that.
Okay.
Wait, a deer with antlers?
Isn't that a normal deer? That's just a boy deer.
A bird with antlers. Sorry,
Oh,
I temporarily had a stroke.
Wait,
it was your
like a
dear
hippogriff?
bird.
I got 13 on nature for bird with antlers.
Bird with antlers. It sounds vaguely familiar that there's
12.
both of you have heard stories about like big scary bird-like monsters with like deer heads and antlers that like are very bloodthirsty and try to kill people.
Huh.
So birds. That's just what birds are like.
What are birds?
You
We
just
just
don't
don't
know.
know.
Just don't know.
Winged horses doesn't sound terrible, though. I mean, it sounds like it would probably be, something stupid that could kick you to death while flying, but
I would kill a man to get to ride a flying horse.
I mean, legit.
I'm pretty jealous that Sunkel gets to ride around on
Circa?
Circa.
Yeah.
breadsticks would be great, but you're too small, aren't you, breadsticks? Scritch, scritch, scritch.
Breadsticks purrs.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day you'll get big, or I'll get really small.
I have enlarge reduce, just saying.
I think we need to double it.
And then you fly into a guy. Then you learn about his bloodstream.
I also do want to just, like, ask Demetrios some questions about, like, the weather and what to expect there, and, like, if there are tips ahead of time on what's edible and not edible, and a bunch of just survival stuff.
Yeah, Demetrios is starting to look a little hard-pressed. He's like, listen, I gotta get back to work.
Okay, that's fair.
Behind Elviva's hands, this entire time, Artie is just changing his pose.
Demetrios kind of gets up, kind of gives both of you a nod. Arturos a bit of a lingering glance, and then he shuffles out of the tavern.
I turn to see who in the tavern is still here, who's closest to me.
Couple of
Aviva
other
turns
patrons.
around to a tavern full of minotaurs, distinctly avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, it's mostly people minding their own business.
Who looks the most like they might enjoy a good hike?
There is sort of a lean, sort of rangerish looking minotaur off to the side, who is enjoying her lunch in peace. It does appear that she's been further afield than most.
Okay. I think
I
that...
don't think she'll be eating her lunch in peace for long.
No.
No. Though I have a moment to think back to that book I read on, how to make
On
friends and
crucial
influence people
conversations?
and crucial conversations and all that jazz. And so I go and I collect some of the wine bowl and I rummage around my various snack pockets to get some stuff that may be like off-world stuff. And I bring that as an offering of, hello, excuse me, my name's Alviva. I'm going to be leading this party of nice people, but not woodsy people, into the jungle around here, and I would greatly appreciate if I could ask some questions about the local environment. You look like you've maybe spent some time out there. I've brought jerky and wine.
The breakfast of champions.
She eyes the jerky with an air of suspicion, but takes the wine and says, "All right, sit down."
Excellent. I sit down.
Oh, Artie follows Elviva. He's going to add to whatever persuasion is happening with his charm.
Okay. As you're sitting down, the Minotaur says, "All right, so first off, it's not a jungle, it's a forest. It's quite arid out there.
Okay.
Either bring water or travel next to water."
Always.
It's true. He gets dry.
She glances at Arturos and goes, "Yeah, I bet."
Water also where the monsters tend to congregate.
Any
that's
fresh
just a trade-off.
any fresh water, the local wildlife, natural and unnatural, will congregate near it quite a lot.
Makes sense. Any inclement weather, typhoons, storms?
Well, it's spring, so there is going to be a bit of a rainy season, but the Coralia, the priestess, hasn't told us that there are any storms on the way, so we should be all right.
All right. Would you mind giving me a rundown of any poisonous, fish, berries, stuff like that to watch out for? I'm probably going to be doing some foraging as we go. Weird poisonous birds, you know how it is.
Poisonous or venomous?
Poisonous in
Both.
this case.
Either.
I don't think there are any poisonous birds. I don't think there are any venomous birds now either, now that I think about it.
Oh, cool. Saves this one category. Let me make a note. Can eat all birds.
Yeah, and she sketches out for you a couple of different plants and berries and stuff that you should avoid, either because they will make people yarf or they will make you very itchy.
It's the venomous berries you gotta watch out for.
Yes.
Yeah.
They bite back.
Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Wink.
Not getting stuck on the point of venomous berries. Excellent. I mean, I think that that's all useful. Mostly, I'm hoping this is just like prepping to try and get an advantage on survival checks, let's be honest.
That's fair.
Alviva's in a weird level of like, this is actually her competency. And it's kind of strange. She's focused and paying attention to things and thinking ahead.
Thriving, moisturized, in her element.
Yeah. It's really weird. She feels a sense of responsibility for keeping all of these other assholes alive.
Assholes.
Fed.
Affectionate.
Cool. I think that, yeah, unless there's anything, like, surprising, basically, just, like, it's a one ranger to another talk of just...
Yeah. I mean, the surprising thing is that there's a shit ton of monstrosities on the island. But we've kind of covered that.
Yeah, we've covered that bit. Cool. I think then I'm good if we want to go back to the ship. At one point before we head out, I'm going to do another ranger thing, but that can wait until we're about to leave.
All right, cool.
Dope.
All right, so you guys are headed back to the ship?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so.
Does Artie need to go back to the ship?
Only you can answer that question, Arturos.
Only Arturos can prevent thirst fires. Alright, reluctantly he goes back to the ship, waving.
Yeah, you did get a bit of an up and down from the Lady Minotaur, by the way.
He winks.
All right, so you guys head back to the ship?
Yep.
Lachlan, these four doofs arrive back at the ship.
Okay, I imagine around this time, Lachlan would be bringing back a handcart with supplies, so they'd probably
Yeah,
beat him there.
probably.
They would probably beat him back to the ship. Maybe he'll meet them on the way out as they leave.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that you are coming back with a handcart of supplies, as these guys are also coming back from recon and lunch.
Hey, how'd you go?
Oh, hi. Oh, you've been busy.
I have, yeah. I've just been getting supplies, putting in some orders. Not going to get a lot of things here, but it's made me realize what we do need for next time. Also, there's been a very slight change to Lachlan's description. I think it might be a good idea to, quickly just recap that if everyone's okay with it.
Sure.
All right.
So you all know Lachlan. He's a tall half-orc. His hair is short, black, and straight, pushed back out of his eyes with this neat little swish.
Swish.
Swish. He seems to be muscularly built, but with a layer of softness over him. His eyes are blue with slitted pupils and light yellow scleras, and he's covered with numerous small scars, but the most prominent of all is a pair of thick notches across his left brow, like an inverted V, with a third horizontal notch poised across the point. He wears simple sailor's clothes with no shoes, and you have never seen him without his canvas satchel containing an abacus, a notebook, a clipboard, and a bunch of other similar things like that.
Fucking clipboard.
Fucking
What a
nerd.
He's a quartermaster. His job is he's a professional nerd.
That synchronization was natural.
It was so good.
Yeah, Jake, synchronize it via that. You don't need to do anything else. Yeah. He might not be able to do aim a catapult, but he can do maths as long as he has his abacus, because that's his job. And he's like, cool. Jill, can I catch you before you guys head out?
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll leave you to your stuff then. And everyone else, hang in there. I might have some things for you when you get back.
Yeah, there's this layered crispy thing with honey and nuts. We need more. We need more of that.
Righto, I will get on that, and I'll also see if I can get a recipe for Finn.
Oh my god, yes.
And Jill, you've been baking. Maybe you can learn something about that.
Yes, sure.
Wonderful. Righto, cool. I'll catch us all in a second.
Okay.
Lachlan goes off to do his job.
I just said the
Leaving you
word
guys on
yes
the
a lot,
deck.
followed by nothing. I'm bad at this.
You're doing fine, dear.
Right. Oh boy, yes. But anyway, hello. Hi, how are we? Hi, hello.
We're good.
Yes.
What are you
Tell the
looking
captain
at
our
your
plans?
boyfriend's?
What? What was the question? One more time?
What are you looking at your boyfriend's ass?
His pants are figure hugging.
Yes, not that it's any of your business.
I mean, I stare at your boyfriend's ass.
someday I'm gonna touch it and it's gonna be one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Also, he's not my boyfriend. We're just going out on dates. It's fine. It's
Jill,
fine.
darling.
It's definitely fine.
Jill, darling, I'm pretty sure he's your boyfriend and you're his girlfriend. How
I
about
don't
before we
know that
leave, you
for
ask
sure.
him that?
No. No time for that.
Lachlan!
No. When you promised me.
Lachlan!
When you promised me you wouldn't force it.
I'm just saying you should ask him.
Great, and I will, but I would rather just do this monster thing first, and then do the boy monster thing later.
I do the boy monster thing all the time.
There it is.
I have a counter suggestion, Jill.
What?
My counter suggestion is we're about to leave for... You said at least 5 days one direction, Alviva?
Yes. And, knowing all this, probably more.
Probably more. So we might be gone for up to 2 weeks. You will be fretting all those 2 weeks, since this is on your mind. Why not just ask? And then that way, let's say worst case scenario, he says no, you'll have 2 weeks to get through it. Before you have to see him again. More likely case, he says, yes, I assumed we already knew this. And you're happy for 2 weeks, other than, the monster's trying to murder us.
Can I think about it?
Yes, we have about 10 minutes, so...
You remember
Okay.
that he said no to me, right? Like,
Everybody says no to you, Artie.
that's a lie.
Oh,
That's
Hart!
a lie.
that's
How dare
objectively
you?
not
That
true.
is not
How dare
true.
you?
That is not true,
that is
Artie.
not
You're right.
what happened.
But
That's
I
not
mean...
true. That's so rude. I can't believe that my friend. I thought we were friends. Oh,
We are
Guys,
friends.
can we please just go...
Bitch.
Artie, I'm
You know
sorry,
Artie
I more
has
meant...
game.
No.
Jilliana takes the opportunity of this distraction to just get on the ship and go below decks to find the captain.
Okay. Jill's off to find the captain. What's everybody else up to? Artie, are you still yelling?
He walked away. He's like, I don't want to deal with any of you all. I'm going to go back to the bar.
Okay, Artie's going back to the bar.
Just gonna go find that blacksmith and prove a point.
I'm going to find somebody. Fuck all of you.
Is this how Jill feels? Is this what it's like to try and be responsible?
Yes, Alviva, it is.
Yes!
Oh, no wonder she's so tired all the time. Alright. I guess I'll also go join the captain. I was so ready to defend Nap Squad honor. But
I am going to go find a roof to sit on.
Okay,
Go sit
out
on
in the
the
town
roof?
or on the ship?
In the town, probably.
Okay, so okay.
You just gonna go Batman?
I'm gonna go Batman, yes.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I'm considering it's the Mediterranean. I thought it was more like somewhere to go sit naked on a roof smoking cigarettes, but
No, I'm just gonna go squat on a roof and look broody.
okay, got it. We'll start with the conversation with the captain. So Jill Alviva quickly joins you on your way to go find the captain. The captain is currently in the cargo bay, tallying up the stuff that Lachlan's been bringing in. More of a final inspection, considering that Lachlan's the one who is actually tallying it.
Okay. Then I guess between her and Alviva, we'll just sort of fill her in on all the stuff we learned from like the townsfolk, from the bar, from the temple and everything.
Okay, as you're explaining, you manage to get to the end, and then the captain goes, could you circle back to the thing about the dragon turtle?
I don't know. I guess there's a dragon turtle somewhere in the waters. Why?
Okay. If that had a tendency to come into the harbor, that would be a thing they would tell people, right? Do you think?
I think so.
Jill looks at Alviva.
I mean, if it was a problem. I asked less questions about that one because I wasn't planning to go out to sea.
I guess a quick nature check thought about a dragon turtle. That's an 18.
Okay. Dragon turtles have been known to destroy and eat ships.
Oh, huh. Well, that's probably something to ask that, like, dock worker about that we checked in with when we landed.
Yeah, she nods. She's visibly nervous about this and is like, okay, if you come back and we're not here, it's because I decided we were gonna kind of go into orbit for a little bit to avoid the dragon turtle, and then she heads out.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait.
She
Wait,
turns.
quick question.
Yeah.
We don't have time to fully go into it, but Quicksilver Knight, Duke of Stardust, is that stuff that you know about too?
I mean, I've heard about it. It's some, it's some spell sailors superstition. I don't necessarily buy into it, but
Does any of the crew buy into it?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. It hasn't come up with conversation with me.
Okay. Also, there might be a cool dude called Brimothy Peepus who comes by and brings some reading material.
Okay, we'll be sure to hold on to that for you.
Thank you. I feel like I agreed to a trade with him, but I don't remember what he was getting out of it. So I guess just be nice to him and maybe give him a snack.
I think it was just someone who didn't call him college boy for having a thesis.
The gift of interest in his expertise. But yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. Anything else?
Well, okay, so if this is going to be like a Harena situation where we're gone for multiple days at a time, do you want me to just do like a daily check-in sending, resources permitting?
Yeah, that would be preferred, especially if there happens to be anything scary and life-threatening on its way to the town, like what happened last time.
Right, yeah, no, I will, yeah, that one was dropping the ball on my part. There is that, yes.
To be fair, I feel like you were a bit busy.
Little preoccupied, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, if you've got the spells, please check in, let us know you're not dead.
Yeah, can do.
Or if you're dying and we should leave.
Right.
Pragmatic.
Although you still all got your rings of recall, right?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
the three of us do. Artie never got one. I don't know if you have a spare.
We gave you our last 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are 3 amongst us.
Okay, well, if any of you appear back on the ship, we'll know that something's up, and I guess we can go out and try to find Artie at that point.
We should make a task of trying to get one for Artie.
Well, next time we're somewhere, like, with a big enough market, we could always just see if that's something floating around that we can just buy. It's probably expensive.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
But hey, we've been, like, shoveling platinum into the engines.
Uh-huh.
It's a business expense.
Yeah.
It is a business
Tax
expense.
deductible.
We could make it tax deductible.
It's an out-of-character joke. Alviva didn't know shit about taxes.
I feel like she's probably heard us say tax deductible a couple of times and has just picked it up and is applying it.
That's true. She applies it to all kinds of inconveniences in her life.
Exactly.
Lachlan suddenly feels like he has to do more paperwork for some reason.
Throwing tax deductible at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, the little Metal Gear Solid exclamation point appears above his head, but it's for taxes and not danger.
I don't know, what's the difference?
Alright, so the
Cool.
captain
Okay.
heads out. Win, you're being broody on a rooftop, I'm assuming.
Yes, of course.
Do you want to roll for being broody?
Is there a roll for being
Can we-
broody?
I feel like you could take a 10 on it, honestly.
Okay, I'll take a 10.
Alright, cool. And
Dramatic
Arturos,
broody.
you're... Where are you headed?
Oh, he's in the bar. He's flirting
in the
with that
bar?
last
Okay.
Lady Minotaur.
Okay. Lady Minotaur's name, by the way, is Helena. Yeah, roll a charisma check for me.
17.
It's going quite well. It's going well enough that if you don't want to go back to the ship tonight, you don't gotta.
We'll see. We'll see what happens if we're heading out today or not.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Alviva, when do you want to head out? What do you think?
What time is it?
It's about midday.
Honestly, I like the idea of heading out and going a short distance. It's probably safer near town anyway, and I'm eager to find out what I can, see in terms of tracks. It would be nice
Okay.
to know. I don't think we'll make it as far today, but if it's
Right.
only midday, I feel like, can make a bit of distance and get a sense of the environment before we,
Right.
know.
And if it's spring, we've probably got a good what do you figure, like 6-7 hours of daylight?
Yeah, that sounds about right. God, I had the brief thought of, I'm like, how would it work if the world is a disc?
Yeah, the world is flat, so take that into your calculations.
So the rules are made up, and the daylight doesn't matter.
What does that do? Does it, my gut intuition is it means more sun.
Sunset is when I decide it's dramatic for there to be sunset.
What direction is the bowl facing right now? How does it feel?
But yeah, I mean, even assuming a normal sort of, well, I guess normals. What is normal? I'm just thinking of, like, my perspective.
Don't get too deep into that one.
Just because I lived in that type of sphere doesn't mean it's a normal sphere. Maybe disk spheres are normal, and we're from the weird ones. Maybe they're mostly on top of animals.
We've been to 3 planets, at least. 4? We've been to, like, 4 planets, and 1 inside-out world, 1 ring world, and now 1 disk world, so... I don't know. The odds are good, but that may just be selection.
Alviva looks troubled.
Look, Alviva, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think your instincts are still going to be okay here. Nature seems to take a specific sort of course no matter what kind of environment it's in. I might go so far as to suggest that life finds a way.
Gotcha. It's just, sometimes when you think about it, like, the stars are lizards. And
yeah, the stars are lizards, and sometimes they're just giant, like, animals that have stars in them.
And it weirds me out when I think about, you know.
And sometimes stars are actual suns. Sometimes stars are suns. And sometimes suns are little bitty suns.
Yeah, don't get her started.
Boo!
Oh, God.
Okay, this is the game. I am rolling. Lachlan takes 7 psychic damage.
He dies instantly.
Well, that was bound to happen.
Well, R.I.P. Lachlan. He had a good run.
It's okay, you can kiss him back to life.
Oh, no!
But yes, but listen, the sun has been going up since we've been here. I'm going to assume it goes down at a similar-ish rate. So we should have a good, at least like 6 hours, maybe more, depending on how flatness impacts things.
Juliana opens her mouth to just sort of wonder out loud how having 2 moons affects tidal cycles and whether or not tidal cycles exist on a disk, then looks at Alviva, who has this very big furrow in her brow, and then shuts her mouth. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine. I think Artie and Wynn are gone, but for everyone else, I'm gonna just check our packs before we go, make sure we're full up on water, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can probably talk to Lachlan about getting some supplies set up. I trust your judgment on, like, food and water and everything. I'm gonna go round up the others. I'm gonna have to go round up Artie. I don't know what he's doing right now. And we'll meet you back here.
Okay.
All right. For the record, counting rations and shopping for them does not make for good radio. If you say you bring enough food and water to survive on the island for a while, I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's like how I haven't made Alviva buy arrows once this game.
Yeah, and I am not casting create food and water.
I mean, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the fact that I'm going to be scavenging for food. But yes,
I don't need to make 30 pounds of food or whatever the fuck that we can, or like, I'm not going to go out and shoot a bison in the Oregon Trail and we can only bring 200 pounds back to the wagons.
I'll be doing that in my head.
Already strong enough to carry the whole bison.
I do like the idea of Jill having a conjure lasagna spell, though.
Can I?
I mean, you can always just set Artie free to fish in the river.
I could just set create food and water to lasagna.
Turn the dial to lasagna.
It can't always be lasagna. It has to be like lasagna, and then you get like a tuna casserole sometimes, and it's just like weird Midwestern foods.
It's like 20 pounds of lasagna and 10 pounds of garlic bread.
Eat like kings. But yes, no, this is mostly just, yes, Alviva does her due diligence and makes sure that we have enough water and shit.
Gotcha. All right, Jill, you're off to find Artie and Wynn?
Yep.
Okay. Wynn, you spot on a nearby rooftop.
What? So she's just crouched over brooding?
Yeah, she's in that pose where like one leg is down, one knee is up. She's got her chin, she's got her elbow on her knee and like her chin posed on her hand as she's gazing off into the distance. It's weirdly like a cacophony pose, but it's a win.
Are the strands of her hair that are not up in a messy bun wafting gently in the breeze?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Jill is probably not going to, like, yell at her, but just see if she can find a quick way up.
All right. It's moving around on the rooftops is common enough here, and there's not any particularly tall buildings, so you find a ladder propped up against the roof, and you can scramble up there.
All right, yeah. Jill climbs up, plops down next to her. Hey, bud. How's it going?
Fruits basket time. She turns her head and she goes, hello, Jill.
Hi, how's it going? Are we
Fine,
brooding
fine.
up here?
Are we ready to go?
More or less. I mean, we gotta go pack up, but we've got a
Right.
game plan at least. Alviva's getting, like, the food and stuff together, but you should probably think about packing your gear and stuff.
All right, I will go get everything gathered.
All right, did you happen to see if Artie left the tavern or what direction he went in?
From my vantage point, did I see Artie do anything other than enter the tavern to talk to Helena?
Roll a perception check.
23.
Artie, where are you right now?
I mean, it's still pretty early. They're in the tavern.
Well, how
right,
fast
yeah.
does she move?
How fast does she move, Kit?
The general air that you've been getting from Helena for the last couple of minutes is, I'm leaving when you are.
He's still in the tavern last I saw him.
Okay, wish me luck.
Godspeed.
All right, meet you back at the ship.
And she walks to the edge and rather than take any ladder down, just hops down and starts heading to the ship.
Juliana's very envious of her dexterity score. And awkwardly climbs down a ladder.
Clunk, 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 clunk.
Clink, clunk, clunk, clunk.
All right, you head over to the tavern. Artie is currently talking to that rangerish looking minotaur you saw Alviva talking to earlier.
Yeah, you see them canoodling in the booth, like, real close.
It's getting handsy.
It's getting
Okay.
a little handsy for this public space, but
Big hands.
big hands.
Juliana, like, stiffly walks over, is just, like, getting a secondhand embarrassment blush here. It's just like, Artie, can I talk to you for a second?
Huh?
Artie?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, sorry, can I talk to you for a second?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be right back. What's up?
Artie, we gotta get our shit together and go. Alviva wants to head out today.
We're going today?
Yeah, she wants to have as much daylight as possible. I'm sorry, I can't.
Like right now?
Yeah, like as soon as possible. I'm sorry.
Alright.
I know. She's very pretty.
Fine, I'll be right there.
Yeah, can you range check? I'm sorry, buddy.
He turns around, whispers something in her ear, kisses her hand, and does a wave.
She does a little like finger wave back. Come back anytime.
You know I will.
All right, you guys head out.
No, congratulations though. That looks like she's very pretty. Very very pretty.
Yeah, I can get it!
What? Hey, dude. Buddy, come on. I never said you look. You can yell that at Win if you really want, but I never said you couldn't. I am very aware. You're a very sexy little fish man. We've been over this.
Everyone on the ship says no, but that doesn't mean that I can't.
I know, buddy. You're very capable of having whatever sex you would like with many attractive people. This is a known entity. This is a known quantity. We know this.
So rude.
It was a hurtful thing to say, and very untrue. I know. She will apologize, I'm sure, if you ask her to. Okay?
Fine.
Okay. You want to go hit some monsters until you feel better?
I was going to hit the monster, and then you came in, and you were like, we have to go.
I know. Look, I said I'm sorry. Look, can I give you a juice box? Will you feel better if you have a juice box?
Yes.
Okay. I've got grape, I've got apple. What are you feeling?
Apple. Grape is disgusting.
Okay. You've just been drinking a lot of wine. Sure, why not? Here's an apple juice.
It's only good when it's old and
It's only good when
nasty.
it's old and bitter.
Bring me that juice box in 5 years.
Gem Jammer is performed by Lexi Peppers, Annie Creighton, Kit Walker, Mackenzie Weaver, and Rio, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our character designs are by Rio, who you can find at vriosart on Twitter, and our cover art is by Canary Witch, who you can find at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music is by Reckoning Storm AudioWorks. For more episodes of this show and our other shows, as well as news, check out our website at crookedrussiancamp.horse.
Wunderbar.
This is the exact moment you should try and fucking come onto my desk, Milo.
Oh,
Milo
that
wants to
sentence
count.
ended in talking to a cat. I wasn't sure where we were going.
No, sorry.